really good series for the Padres, who split a doubleheader today in Atlanta, but they really played impressive baseball to come from behind to win in game one. So you'll take that split. Could have easily been swept here today in Atlanta, if not for really remarkable comeback in game one from 5-0 down, 4 runs in the eighth. Manny Machado, one of the heroes for the Padres in game one, shut out in game two, but 3 of 4 in Atlanta against a team that was 15-5 at home coming into the series. I think it's a very good series, and the Padres have a chance to get over 500 with the series win in Cincinnati this upcoming Tuesday through Thursday. So John and Jim with you here on the wrap-up show. Please subscribe. I would love it if you helped us get to 6,300 subscribers tonight. We are inching closer, Jim. I think we're about 40 or so away. So if you're here live or on replay, if you wouldn't mind contributing by subscribing, as in just hit the subscribe button, become a member. No, just subscribe. I'm all over the place. Please subscribe. Trying to get to 6,300 subscribers. Please smash the like button for us. Padres win a series in Atlanta. We'd love to get to 300 likes on this video. It doesn't cost you a penny. Follow us on X, at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Thank you for the super chats. Great way to support our work. Click the $sign below the chat box. And thank you for the memberships. If you want the emojis and the badges, you can click the join button down below. But all in all, Jim, we touched on it briefly today. Game 2 went final towards the end of John and Jim. Yes, shut out in game 2. But overall, to come back from 5-0 down, to take 3 of 4 in Atlanta against a team that had been so good at home, I don't know how you could be anything other than optimistic and positive about the Padres after the last 4 days.
No, there's really nothing to complain about at all in this series. Like, find me one. Okay, they got shut out in game 4. They're facing Chris Sale, who is one of the better lefties in baseball. Yeah, Randy Vasquez was on the mound, but he gave you 6 innings, 3 runs. As Shildt said, that qualifies as a quality start.
Sure.
Like, I mean, Friday night was great for, the back end of the bullpen and Jeremiah Estrada getting the save and winning a close game. Sunday was just an absolute beatdown. And Yu Darvish continues to be impressive. This morning showed the grit of this team that they have, coming back from 5-0. Manny Machado getting a big hit, one of the very few big hits that he has gotten this year in those clutch moments. And then, it is extremely hard to sweep a doubleheader. It just is. And the goal on those days is make sure your bullpen doesn't get blown up, number one, and then come out with a split. And that's what they did. And to take the first 2 games of the series, it's much easier to swallow a split today, because you get a split today, you win the series, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the story, if there's one story coming out of this, it's A, their ability to come from behind, which they've continued to do, and then B, it's Xander Bogarts, who made a diving play at second. I'm sure most of the people here live or on replay are aware.
Well, that's
kept the ball in an infield that might have saved a run from scoring, but maybe separated his shoulder. We don't know. I think they're calling it whatever they're calling it now, shoulder inflammation. He didn't play in game 2. Obviously, he has struggled this year. He had hit a little bit over the last 6 or 7 games before leaving game 1. And now we wait. What is this going to be? Is it going to be day-to-day? Is it going to be an IL stint? Is it something beyond, a 10-day IL stint that could cost him, 60-plus days? I have absolutely no idea. I don't know if the Padres have any idea either. The good news, if there's good news, is that you've acquired Luis Arraez, who's a second baseman. Xander Bogarts obviously hasn't given you the productivity you were hoping for. Now, I think you're going to need him potentially from here on out. You're counting on him, even though he hasn't given you what you're counting on him for. But, Xander Bogarts suffering a shoulder injury. We'll see what that means, Jim, for the Padres. But, at least gone for game 2, and we'll see if he appears in Cincinnati or not.
The right now instant reaction about how this hurts the team because Xander might miss a little bit of time, I don't think it hurts them a lot, because he's not really giving you much offensively anyway. You're probably going to get the same production that you'd get out of a combination of Tyler Wade and Donovan Solano. But on the other hand, Xander's a better player than both those guys, and he was kind of getting a little bit hot here. Wasn't scorching hot, but he was starting to swing the bat better. And now you lose the potential of a Xander hot streak that could have really helped this team with his injury. So you can look at it both ways. You could look at it one way where it's like, well, not really missing much because overall Xander's not really giving you anything anyway. I mean, he hasn't had a hit with runners in scoring position since like April 26th, unless he had one in the series and I just forgot about it that I can't remember off the top of my head.
Neither can I.
And he has a sub 600 OPS. It's like, it's not like he's Jerks and Profar, right? I mean, they lost
Right. That'd be massive.
trouble. I mean, think about that, dude. If they lost Jerks and Profar, this team would be in trouble. But anyway, I digress. So you can look at it that way, or you can look at it like, one, you lose Xander, you lose depth of your team. Two, you lose your starting second baseman. Three, you lose the ability to see Xander kind of maybe get hot here and help this team out in a big way. So you can look at it both ways, but it's not, to me, if he's not, let's go like, not worst case scenario, but let's just go like he goes on the IL. Okay. That's 2 weeks. I don't think it's really hurting them that much.
I tend to agree. I don't think it's something you want to ponder overcoming for the season, although
Correct.
I think that they're somewhat built to accomplish it, truthfully, because of the Luis Arias move. But again, I don't think anyone wants to forecast that. And I think you're counting on him to be somewhat productive at some point. I don't think what happened today is going to be a season-long injury. I hope I'm right. I don't have the imaging. But I'm not suspecting that what happened today is going to keep Xander out for the rest of the year. All right, let's get to some of these supers, guys. Please subscribe. You're on content for Padres fans, the home of real Padres talk. We'd love to get to 6,300 subscribers with your help here tonight. Thank you for the first super chat of the night. Taco Bell Call 911, one of the great names here on the channel. You can click the $ below the chat box like Taco Bell did. And thank you. He says, Machado hasn't had this slow of a start in his career as a Padre. He's actually never had this slow of a start ever, anywhere. Do you think his injury is hampering him more than we think? I mean, kind of like Bogey, Jim. Machado has gotten slightly hotter here. Obviously, had a big hit, really big hit in the 8th inning that scored 2 that turned a deficit into an advantage, 6-5. And then he had a base hit in game 2 as well. He's hitting 230. His OPS is 637. It's certainly a slow start. I kind of wonder, is he beginning to see his way out of it or not?
I don't know. I'm going to need to see like a lot more.
Yeah.
And I do think that his elbow is affecting him, but if it's not affecting him, then you know what I mean? Like I almost am sitting here like, I don't hope, but like, you know, at least that would give you a real explanation. Because if it's not the elbow and if it's just like this is his start of his decline, you know, then that's a scary thought to think about. Like, if it is his elbow, then it kind of explains a lot of things. But if it's not his elbow, then that's even, I think, scarier.
5 for 12 in the last 3 games of this series. I mean, isn't good. It's encouraging, including a big double. I mean, it was. He has struggled mightily in some of those spots. He's grounded into double plays. He's struck out in some of those spots. That was obviously a massive inning in general. Jake Cronenworth, 0-2. Manny Machado, you know, that double into the left center field gap. It was just a massive inning. It was, and they've had a lot of them this year. So thank you, Taco Bell. Oh, look at this for me racing with Dale. Wow, that is very kind. You should get married more often, Jim.
I really should.
Let's get some super chats for Jim, who's got like 30 grand in debt. Just kidding. I don't know. It's probably less than
40
that.
But
he also had what'd you have?
A kidney stone, so that didn't help out. Yeah. Hospital bills are not fun.
Racing with Dale, this is very kind. Thank you, man, for the super chat and your support of Jim. Jim, good luck and best wishes with the wedding. Thank you both for all you do. Love the show. So now you don't have to worry as much about walking down the aisle during like a Juan Soto plate appearance at Petco Park on Saturday night. Because Racing with Dale says best wishes.
What time's the game on Saturday?
During your freaking wedding.
Is it 4:30?
No, it's at 5:40, which is during your wedding.
Oh, that's fine. It's at least it won't be about me. I'll be walking down the aisle at like 4:30. I was thinking to myself,
oh, it's at 6:40.
Oh, even better. We'll be like dancing by then.
Dancing, great.
Yeah. We'll be eating cake and cupcakes and cookies and everything will be awesome. But
Well,
thank
this
you,
is a very
Dale.
generous super. What do you plan on
Yes.
doing? Maybe you could buy Erin some flowers. You could
I
take
bought
her out
her.
on a date.
Well, possibly, yeah. We'll see what happens. We're doing a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, doing a lot.
E-Racing with Dale, thank you. Seriously, for your membership, for your support of the channel. Do
Thanks, man.
appreciate
Appreciate
it.
it.
You go back. Let's start with game one. I mean, Dylan Cease doesn't have it. He just doesn't. Back-to-back
No.
home runs, couple of runs in the first inning. He goes 4 innings. That's un-Cease-like. And then all of a sudden, you got just the guys that are, the 27th man on the roster. Logan Gillespie is just kind of out there. Like the game's over. You're down 5-0. You're just trying to eat innings, get to game two, try to salvage a split of game two. And Gillespie somehow gets out of a bases loaded spot. 3-ball count, bases loaded. Easily could have walked in a run, or who knows, base hit away from it being 8-9-0. He gets out of it. And then he has another scoreless inning. And then Johnny Brito comes on, I think, and he's got a scoreless inning. And then all of a sudden the tides turn and you take a lead and you go to your A team, Estrada and Suarez. Suarez was saved by some outstanding defense, Cronenworth and Kim in that 9th inning. But a game like that first game, Jim, again, that didn't happen a year ago. And it was one of those funny games where all of a sudden Logan Gillespie's on the mound, the game's over, and you somehow come back and win the game. Like they didn't do that one time last year.
That was one of the biggest keys of game one in their victory was what you just said there in I forget what inning it was. What inning was it? Hold on.
5th inning, he came in.
5th inning.
Got out of a bases loaded spot.
Yep. Pitched 2 innings, scoreless, and then Brito, Estrada, Suarez. The bullpen was fantastic today, both ends. And without Gillespie getting out of that bases loaded jam there in the 5th, they don't win that game. Like
no way. They
don't win it. So you could argue Gillespie is one of the stars of game one, along with Manny, along with Crony with the RBI there to cut it to 1 run, and then Manny getting the 2 runs there to give them the lead. But I mean, usually Cease is he has an ERA over 3 now, John. It's because he's had a couple starts here where he's given up some runs.
Over 3, cut him.
But when Cease is on the mound, that's like win day. It's like you have 2 pitchers now where you feel like, okay, this is win day when they go to the mound. This Darvish and Cease, and he didn't pitch great today. Might have been the timing of things, but you got to win. So that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. I thought there was a couple of really big moments. Like you're down 5-0, you start chipping away. Jackson Merrill, I think, had a 2-out hit in the 7th inning. Did he not? That made it 5-2. I'm pretty sure he did.
Yep.
And then in the 8th inning, it was like, the Cardinals sin the leadoff walk. And then it just starts these rallies, and they've had so many 4-run innings. And Jay Cronenworth is behind 0-2, and he rips a single up the middle. And then, of course, Machado does what Machado did in that spot to make it 6-5. And, I even remember a year ago, they maybe would rally and they'd tie a game up and then they'd give up a run. Like kind of inexplicably, they'd give it back up. I mean, Estrada's the real deal. You tweeted about it. Like they found their 8th inning guy. I mean, they've struggled to bridge to Suarez, and now hopefully no longer. I mean, Estrada, I know that sample size isn't massive, but he's got sub-1 ERA like Robert Suarez, and the innings are piling up now. It's not 2 innings. Like he's got some innings under his belt. Now these are really high leverage spots, and he's, pitching like Robert Suarez, which is super encouraging, and I think solves some of the problems. You couldn't get it to Suarez with effective 8th inning relief help, and now hopefully you can moving forward with Jeremiah Estrada.
15 strikeouts and 11 2/3 innings pitched. Pretty good. And he's got sub 1 ERA. I'm looking at it here and thinking to myself, like we said on Friday. Days are all mixing up on me. Friday, when he gets the save there, that earned him another opportunity in the setup role. He's not the closer, but he's earned himself a shot at the 8th inning. And he got the 8th inning today in game 1. Pitched beautifully. And Shilt's not going to say it. And he's going to need to still continue to do it consistency, right? It's not one good outing doesn't make a season or break a season, but he will, for the foreseeable future, until he messes up, or if he doesn't, like, he's going to get the 8th inning. He is the setup guy to Robert Suarez now. And that is a huge plus for this team because they've been searching.
I mean,
And
he's more reliable. I
yeah.
mean, listen, you can't be blowing 5-run leads. They blew
No.
a 5-run 8th inning lead this year in Colorado.
Yeah. No.
Like that's unacceptable. And if it happens one time, hopefully it's the only time. And when that happened, whenever it was, late April, well, hopefully they've learned from it, and hopefully they have more effective, 8th inning setup, whatever abilities with Jeremiah Estrada than they had with whatever they were doing previously. Aniel De Los Santos, Monty Peralta. These guys have been good at times, but you're looking for, like, when you've got a lead late. I mean, ask Atlanta. When you have a lead late, it's so demoralizing to blow it. It is so demoralizing to blow late leads.
Yep.
With your 8-team relievers out there. Like, are you serious? We did all this work, and then we lose the game late. So, I mean, Estrada to Suarez. Again, I like the way some of this stuff is shaping up. I really like the back end of their bullpen today as we sit here. I love Cease, Darvish today, right? Top of the rotation. Their offense has done more than enough. Again, it's not baseball's best offense, but it's resilient. I mean, Arise has been a revelation. He's hitting 350, Jim, as a Padre.
I know. I never sit him.
Don't sit him. And you saw the stat that he's got the exact same batting average as Tony Gwynn through his first 50 plate appearances as a Padre, maybe? Or 60?
It's wild.
350 batting average. So, again, the indicators that we talked about, I think there's a lot of really positive indicators right now with the Padres. Now, the other side of that conversation, Jim, is they're 25-25.
The results are the only thing that's it.
Yeah, they're not 30-20. They're 25-25.
Yeah, you really like what you see, but I mean, at the end of the year, if they're 82-80, and they miss the postseason, it's not good enough. I don't care about how great of a season so-and-so had. It's like the end result this year is all that matters. Yes, we are going to talk about everything in between. And yes, I take that back. Some things do matter. Like Jackson Merrill, that does matter, right? Just going forward, what he does, it does matter. I think Tatis hopefully becoming Tatis again, if we ever see that, like, that does matter this year. Robert Suarez becoming one of the best, if not the best closers in the game. Like those things matter. But if they're still 82-80 or 81-81 at the end of the year, like, it's going to be a very, very bitter pill to swallow to try to pull a Shildt and praise all these good things while also realizing that the end result was no postseason. If they remain 500, if they're hover around that all year long and can't push, 5, 6, 7, 8 games above and kind of maintain there, and then, see what happens at the end.
I've been wrong before. I feel like this team is different than last year, and I think they will go on some type of prolonged run at some point, and we'll see. I mean, this is a perfect opportunity right now with Cincinnati to go win a series and get back over 500. E-Racing with Dale, thank you again. He says, as good as Cease has been, he's earned this not so great of an outing. That is fair. I think he's had a couple of these now. Would like to see a bounce back outing from Cease. Hopefully this upcoming weekend against the Yankees. Tomorrow, an opportunity, by the way, for Joe Musgrove, who we haven't seen in 3 weeks. He'll be pitching in Cincinnati. I mean, I think all things considered, Jim, like you said, his ERA is now over 3. All things considered, he's been very effective for this team. But then again, 1/3 of a season doesn't make a season. So we'll see. Does he need to make adjustments? He had at times earlier this year been unhittable. That clearly wasn't the case here today. I forget what Shildt said. Maybe they a lot of the swinging and damage Atlanta did was early in counts, like first pitch of a sequence, maybe second pitch of a sequence, a couple of first pitch home runs I think he allowed there in the second or third inning. So, I'm not reading too much into today, to be honest, but, he's pitched well, but he's got to continue to pitch well, obviously.
I'm with you. I'm not reading too much into it. If this turns into a trend, then we can start talking about it, but I trust him. His stuff still looks good. So yeah, he has it in him. We've seen it. Like that's a great thing. And going forward, I'm not too worried about it, honestly.
No, either am I. I agree with you. We'll get back to the chat in a moment. We do need to thank our title sponsor here on the wrap-up show, our good friend Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance. He was with us last night. He's routinely here, whether it's live or on replay. He's a big-time supporter. Our title sponsor, he's been with us since day one, which is about 3 years on YouTube, which is incredible. If you have any insurance needs, you can take it from us. I've got homeowners, life insurance, earthquake. With Mark, trust me, he is a great insurance agent. And he's going to save you money. He's going to save you time. I mean, he can save you hundreds and hundreds. If you ever have to file a claim like I did 2 years ago, he can save you thousands and thousands of dollars. He just can. So click that link in the description down below. You can get to Mark's website, which you see on the screen right now. It's more than just what I told you about. He does auto, he does renters, he does condo. I mean, he does all insurance policies basically in the state of California. So if you support this channel, please support Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance. He's a San Diegan, lifelong Padres fan, great insurance agent, our title sponsor since day one. Before you just renew, make sure to get in contact with Mark Nimitz and get those free quotes by calling Mark or by clicking the link in the description down below.
All his information on the ticker, mnimitz at farmersagent.com, or you reach out to Mark, let him know that John and Jim from the wrap-up show sent you.
Game two, again, I can't get all worried about game two. I just can't.
That's like a gravy game. Like if you get it, it's gravy. It's awesome.
Like at some point, you got to credit the other team. Like Atlanta's been damn good. I mean, they're really going to get swept in a 4-game series at home. They hadn't lost 4 consecutive games, which they had, by the way, coming into game two in 2 years. I mean, they've been elite. One of the best teams in baseball now for years, right? Loaded, really good at home, playing in front of large crowds like the Padres. And in game two, the Padres didn't score against Chris Sale. Well, guess what? Chris Sale has had resurgence here in 2024. And Vasquez was fine. 6 innings, 3 runs, like you said, is a quality start. Yes, he allowed 10 hits in the game. And they threatened. I think in the 8th inning, Jake Cronenworth represented the tying run and had a 3-ball count, and he flied out. So they threatened a little bit late, but no runs on 7 hits. I can live with it considering all the work they did Friday, Sunday, and in game one.
Yeah. I think after you win game one, game two just becomes a luxury. If you win, like it would have been amazing to take a 4-game series in Atlanta with the sweep. But the goal wasn't to get a sweep. It was to play good baseball after that shit series versus the Rockies and see if you give yourself a chance to win a series. Because you have, Darvish and Cease, and you were supposed to have Musgrove pitch, but going into the series, you had Cease, Musgrove, and Darvish all ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so you think to yourself, all right, we like the matchups there, and we're going to go to try to win 3 of 4. They won 3 of 4. Final game, I mean, it is what it is. It's not the end of the world, and I can't get mad at that or upset at that at all, honestly. Because they had opportunities too. It's not like they lost 12-0. They lost 3-0, and they had opportunities to get back in that game. They just didn't do it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I kind of thought, heading into game two, maybe because everything was just kind of going their way, like maybe they'll be able to pull it off. They'll play loose and free. Arise a couple of hits. Profar's has been unbelievable, folks. 2 more hits in game two. You can't afford to sit this guy.
I want to read this. Hold on.
Toddy in the doubleheader, I want to say was 1 for 9. Had 3 Ks in game two, also banged up against the wall and was down in the field for a moment after making a phenomenal play. I mean, a phenomenal play up against the wall in right field.
Dude.
I can't read into it. Azokar had a couple of opportunities, was 0 for 3. Higashioka, 0 for 3, whatever. Right? I mean, you're not going to win every single game you play on the road. They're an elite road team right now. What's the record? 14-9 or 15-9 on the road. So beggars can't be choosers. 3 out of 4 in Atlanta. I mean, think about where we were, guys, 4 days ago. Shilt's post-game press conference. We weren't outplayed. They just got swept at home by the Rockies. You're going to Atlanta. They're 15-5 at home.
Yeah.
They're loaded. Who's thinking about a series win realistically in Atlanta? I don't think a lot of people were, truthfully.
No, especially game one when it was Max Fried versus Matt Waldron.
Yeah, you're like I'm plus 300 in that game.
And you've won 1 game in a Waldron start, and you were horrible against lefties.
Yeah.
So, yeah, here's the thing about last week that I think people are taking the wrong way.
Okay.
Maybe some. we were not sitting here upset or criticizing. Yes, we were, but it wasn't the main takeaway. I feel like getting swept by the Rockies, that was bad. But it's also like, okay, sky's not falling, not the end of the world. They play much better on the road. We'll see what happens. We're not at DEFCON 1 point of the season yet. We'll let you know for a DEFCON 1. That was not it. But then the comments by Shildt pushed it kind of over the edge for me of like, what are you fucking watching, bro?
Mm-hmm.
And, people were like, what did you want him to say? Well, we told you what we wanted him to say. And I think if you talk to anybody that, watched that press conference, a majority of the people would say, like that was bad. So we were not here after Wednesday's game saying this thing is going down the shitter and it's like over, and now 4 days later, it's like, all right, they bounce back again after a tough stretch of baseball, after something that, we heavily criticized, which was Shilt's post-game press conference on Wednesday, and they bounce back in a huge way. So good on them.
And they now have the good faith of, well, they have won 5 of their last 6 series, which is encouraging.
Yeah.
And the outlier is significant because you were swept. You didn't just lose it and do a bad team at home.
Right.
But 5 of 6 is good, And by the way, a chance for 6 out of 7 is really good. And Cincinnati's 3-15 in their last 18 games. Since they came to San Diego and took game 1, they lost games 2 and 3. This is the Cincinnati team that was 19-13, I think, something like that. They were well over 500.
Right. Maybe 18-15, I think. Maybe. I don't know.
18-15. Okay. And the wheels have completely fallen off to the point where they've been the worst team in baseball the last 18 games. The worst. 3-15.
This is
losing everywhere.
This is a big test. I would say this is a bigger test for the Padres versus the Reds than it was versus the Braves, because
we'll see.
They're not good against bad teams. And they're
great. They're 500.
And they're great against good teams. So this is going to be a big test for the Padres here, facing a team that's, on a tailspin.
Complete tailspin. Now, they just put a 4-game series in LA. They did win game 1 against the Dodgers, and they lost in extras in game 4 today. But tailspin. 3-15, give me a break. That's awful baseball for any team over any stretch. Appreciate the super chat, guys. If you're here, please subscribe. We'd love to get to 6,300 subscribers with your help, so please subscribe. And also, thank you for the super chats. Click the $ below the chat box. Thank you for smashing the like button as well. Please do that. If you're here right now, live or on replay. Mauricio says, what a bounce back again. Reds haven't won a series, in a while.
Wow.
Keep it going and then beat New York. So obviously there'll be a lot of discussion about the Yankees coming to San Diego, Juan Soto, Jim's wedding.
It's not about my wedding this weekend? You think Marty's going to ask the question of Juan Soto about my wedding?
You should. But don't worry about the New York series as of yet, is what I would say. Like, to Jim's point, this Reds road series, I don't know. It is a weird one with Joe Musgrove in game 1. What are we supposed to expect from Joe Musgrove? We haven't seen him in 3 weeks.
You're on a high. You just played amazing baseball in Atlanta. Don't fuck this up like you did against the Rockies.
Right.
Like, continue this momentum, and at worst have a 5-2 road trip. Like, that's the expectation right now when this team's on the road. So don't mess it up. Don't have a down series after you just took 3 or 4 in Atlanta. Like, just don't do it, guys. Don't do it.
So who's pitching here? Is this Musgrove, King, Waldron?
Yes. Let me double check, but that sounds right. You got Musgrove tomorrow, you got King on Wednesday, and you got Waldron on Thursday.
So that's interesting. Again, on one side, you say, we know what Musgrove is capable of, but he'll probably be on a pitch count, clearly. Mm-hmm. King has been good or bad, and Waldron has also been good or bad. He's had some very good starts, including his last one, obviously, against Max Fried. But I guess my point is there's no real assurances in there. There's no Cesar Darvish, the way they've pitched by and large this year. So there's no assurance in there. With that being said, their upside is good. Darvish at his best, King at his best, Waldron at his best. So let's see. Richard, appreciate you, man.
Thanks, Richard.
He says, like it will be for you. My wedding day was the biggest day of my life. Your passion for life will serve you well as a husband and father. May God bless you with good health and happiness. Godspeed, Jim.
Wow, thanks, Richard.
Very kind.
Thanks, Richard. See, Dodger fans can be really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for always tuning in.
Biggest day of wow, is this the biggest day of your life coming up on Saturday?
Yeah. Biggest day of my life so far.
Like you thought about it for like 9 seconds. You're like, yeah.
Well, I mean, the day that I proposed to her, this tops that. Well,
What if the Niners would have won the Super Bowl?
That's number one.
Over the wedding?
What wedding? Niners in the Super
saying.
Bowl. Come on, man. Priorities, bro.
Okay.
One of my buddies, literally, he's in our group chat, Niners group chat, and he told me, he's like, I will only come to the wedding if the Niners win the Super Bowl. Because like he has had some stuff he had to do or whatever. And he's like, if the Niners win, I will come to the wedding. So yeah, he's not coming to the wedding.
He's not coming because the Niners lost the Super Bowl months ago? Seriously?
He's not coming because it's not because of that. He has other stuff he has to do. But like
gotcha.
He was telling me, he's like, I will put off those plans and I will make it if the Niners win the Super Bowl. So they didn't win the Super Bowl and he's not coming.
You got a big weekend, man. It is. Yeah, exactly. Here's the problem. Exactly. That's exactly right. That's exactly how I feel.
This is like the ultimate troll job. It is the ultimate.
It's such a busy week because I got wrap-up shows, I got radio shows. I got to prepare your speech, which I haven't done.
It's the ultimate troll job by me. I get married and I make John's life a living hell.
I cannot wait for Sunday. I cannot wait. Sunday is going to be such an amazing day.
Can't you? I mean, I would say rephrase that and be like, I can't wait for Saturday at 5 p.m. because then it's over.
Fair.
You're done.
Oh, completely. I'm down. I'm down. Wait, do I have no responsibilities after you guys kiss each other?
After you do that, you have to introduce us in front of everybody again when we're coming into the reception area and
public address.
Yeah, and you have to introduce everybody and hype everybody up.
Do I have their names?
You'll get their names,
pronunciations, spellings.
One of them, yeah, a couple of them are hard.
Oh my god! What do you have? Friends from all over the world?
One of the girls' names is Camille Lejewski's.
You can't even say it.
I can't even say it.
Are you allowed to say Camille Lejewski's name on the wrap-up show right now?
Well, she doesn't have social media, so it's fine.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, I'm joking. You have no responsibility after 5 p.m.
Oh, I don't have to do that?
No, you're completely off the hook.
The DJ can do that.
The DJ takes care of everything, and you're good. The only thing we're doing is introducing everybody.
Oh, great! I gotta break dance. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, pretty much. We're gonna hold the whole dance floor for you.
I can't wait. Guys, we do need to introduce you to our brand new partner here on the wrap-up show, our friends at Finley, a local San Diego startup. Their offices see right into Petco Park. Listen, they are huge supporters of the Padres. San Diego through and through. We've told you a little bit about them. Here's the quickest way to explain it. All right. Finley allows fans to own a piece of the potential upside of real athletes. The example being their first athlete is a top prospect in the Rangers organization, Xander Bogarts. Look at it like this way. Fernando Tatis Jr. did a deal with a company like Finley called Big League Advance. And he basically gave up a portion of future earnings in the major leagues for guaranteed income when he was in the minor leagues. So imagine if you had the opportunity to have invested in Fernando Tatis Jr., who signs this hundreds of millions of dollar deal. Again, nobody's saying Xander Bogarts is Fernando Tatis Jr. We have absolutely no idea. He's 19 years of age. He's one of the top 10 or so prospects in the Rangers organization. And through Finley, by clicking the link in the description down below, and I'll show you their website in a moment, you can support a rising prospect and get paid a piece of his future Major League Baseball earnings. I mean, that's crazy. He signed for just a few $1,000s, and they're raising capital that will allow him to play baseball and focus on baseball year-round. So if you see on the screen right now, if you invest as little as $96, that's the starting investment, it pays dividends if Bogarts reaches the major leagues. Simple as that. If he reaches the major leagues, your investment pays dividends. And depending on how he plays or performs or what contracts he receives in the major leagues will then be dependent on the type of return you get, the estimated potential return on your investment. But you can invest as little as $96. You can find out what you would receive if you invested $400 or $600 or whatever it is by clicking that link in the description down below. But really, really cool company. Providing fans with something they've never really been provided with the opportunity to do before. So if you're looking for more information, click that link in the description down below.
Yeah, this is a San Diego-based company. Mark Grant is an advisor of them. Keith Law has very high praise for Shedry Vargas, evaluating him as one of the, obviously close to a top 10 prospect inside of their organization. If you want to learn anything more about Finley, link to their website is in the description below. Click on that, check them out, and we're glad that Finley is on board with the wrap-up show.
Yes, please click that link in the description. Down below, JD Gacho, thank you. He says, who will own the dance floor, John or Bentley? Bentley is Aaron and Jim's dog.
Bentley will not be there, so by default, it's John.
Okay. I'm ready. I'll be ready.
Perfect. Cool.
Can't wait. All right, what else about this game? I mean, again, Bogarts kind of looms over it. I think Tatis is fine, right? After banging up against the wall, he stayed in the game.
That was kind of a scary, because there are a lot of people going down with shoulder injuries lately, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah, like you're right. I mean, it's like Manny's overcoming this elbow and has said he's not going to be 100%. And then Bogarts has this shoulder. Initially on TV, Don was like, or Mud was like, oh, is it the wrist? And it wasn't the wrist.
Yeah. No, it wasn't.
It was the shoulder. We know about the wrist.
Glad it's not the
wrist.
And
then there's Tatis too. Tatis has been the shoulder before, right? In his career. That's been a problem for him. So you kind of cross your fingers. Like you said, I mean, good team. AJ probably talked about this. Good teams have depth. It's just simple as that. I mean, good teams have depth in whatever position that they need it. You can overcome losing Xander Bogarts the way he's played. Can you overcome losing Xander Bogarts and another piece? Hopefully they don't need to have that conversation. But again, Musgrove coming off the IL. Bogarts, we'll see. Maybe it's day to day. Maybe it's more than that. Good teams probably stay healthy. There's some fortune in there. But Padres, by and large, have been able to stay healthy. Darvish went on. He came off. Musgrove goes on. He's coming off. Let's hope, cross our fingers, that Bogarts isn't anything of significance, I guess.
Yeah, you lose Bogey for a couple of weeks, not the end of the world for how he's performing. You lose Bogey for like months period here, and he maybe, knock on wood, it doesn't happen. But say it was a season ender like Jung-Hoo Lee with the Giants or Trevor Story, then that's a problem. Because say what you want about Xander, and I'll be the first one to criticize him because of how bad he's been so far this year, but he is a two-time World Series winner. He is a career lifetime, almost 300 hitter. He is a guy that's been in many postseason series. It is the leadership that you would lose with Xander if he happened to miss significant time here, and the depth. So yeah, it's not like a crushing blow to the offense at all, but it could turn into a big time blow if he misses significant time.
We played a clip from Mike Shildt post-game game 2. We had just a couple of minutes as we were wrapping up John and Jim. But I'm reading the quote here that is in Kevin's post-game article. This is from Shildt after game 2, after the loss that dropped him to 25-25. Oh my gosh, I love this team. I just love this team. I love its grit. Team grit is the definition of winners finding solutions. So
we had that on our show today.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with some of the stuff he's saying. The grit, the determination, built to overcome deficits. They've done it in some way. So, I mean, Shildt is like all in. Like,
well, yeah, he has to be.
Gosh forbid their next one-game losing streak, or the next time a reporter questions something that Mike Shildt did, but he's infatuated with this team. It goes beyond the normal relationship a manager has with his team, where he takes exception to everything that doesn't go their way. But if you have any questions about what Mike Shildt thinks about the San Diego Padres, he said, "Oh my gosh, I love this team.
I would love this team more if they were like 5 or 6 games over 500, to be honest with you."
I know, I went all in. I think they were game over, and now they're 500.
It's not the end of the world. 500 is probably like a decent spot, right? For all that happened to them. And they're going to have, I keep looking at that stretch in I think August, the start of August. Well, they're going to play a lot of shitty teams back to back to back to back to back. And that could make or break their season right there. if they continue this 500, mark.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Like
You're 100% right.
You the 15 game stretch they have there, I think with against like the Pirates, the Rockies, and the Marlins, like you go 10-5 or better in that stretch there, and you go into that stretch maybe like 1 or 2 games over 500. That sets you up pretty nicely for a September run, and if not, then just puts more pressure on you to play a really good baseball in September.
That's right.
You
Ishmael,
gotta get there
appreciate you, man.
first. You gotta get there first.
Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you guys. Please subscribe. Please smash the like button. And thank you for the super chats. Just click that $sign below the chat box. Great way to support the channel. He says, what are your predictions for the next series? Since he's below 500, and again, we've been talking about 3-15 in their last 18. I just hope we don't turn mediocre. I'll say they find a way to take 2 out of 3. I would take it. I'll take that right now. 5-2 road trip works for me.
Yeah, but here's the thing though: 5-2 road trip. They that's like the expectation now.
Yeah,
you get a 4-3 road trip. It's still considered to be a good road trip, but
good trip. Yeah,
I don't know if I would feel that great about it if you lose 2 or 3 to the Reds. So
yeah, I feel the same way as you.
I'm viewing this as like it's a 5-2 road trip, or it won't feel great.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean,
after what they did in Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, again, they're so different on the road.
Dude, it's insane.
And I don't know. I'm at least optimistic with Musgrove coming back. I mean, shouldn't we be? I mean, I think we should be.
We'll see. I'll hope for the best, but I still have to see it first. I got to see it because I still am a little nervous about Joe.
I'm nervous, and he'll be on a pitch count tomorrow.
Oh yeah, 75 probably.
Yeah, 75, maybe 80. So you get 5 innings from him. If he leaves tied or with a lead, I think I'll take my chances with San Diego's bullpen.
You face a lefty tomorrow.
It's a weird series.
You face a lefty tomorrow with the Reds.
Oh, forget it. Series over.
You face a lefty in Andrew Abbott, and then old friend Nick Martinez. Nick Martinez on Wednesday, and then Frankie Montas on Thursday. John,
how does this team suck so bad?
Didn't they kind of spend some money this offseason to try to improve and be better?
Well, I know they've been crazy injured. I know John Sadak, when they were in San Diego, their play-by-play guy was telling me, he's like, they've had a lot of injuries. Like, it's going to be tough to survive this many injuries. And maybe that's
at least they have Ellie Deli Cruz, who's going to steal 500 bases.
How many stolen bases does he have?
Like 35.
Come on.
I'm serious.
He's going to steal 100 bases?
Yeah. He already has around 30 stolen bases in the year.
Well, hold on. Let me see how many so I can see if he can actually get to 100. He has I can't find it. But I trust you.
Hold on.
It hasn't even been a third of the season.
No.
Now I'm curious, though. Hold on. He's got 30.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a ton. He's got 65 career steals in less than a year.
He has 9 home runs and 30 stolen bases.
That's pretty good. But
last year he only had 35 in 98 games. So he's already there
30 in whatever, 40 games.
Half the amount of games.
That's crazy. All right, speaking of tomorrow, who wants to join us with some pick'em action with our friends over at Underdog Fantasy? I think Jim does.
Yeah.
This couldn't be easier, guys. Just scan that QR code above Jim or click the link in the description down below, and you're going to get a 50% deposit match up to $250 in bonus cash, plus a free special pick by using promo code PODSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP. Again, PODSWRAP, promo code PADSWRAP. Simple pick'ems across all sports. For example, if you select Joe Musgrove tomorrow, let's see here. I'm trying to make something look good. They're not really making it look good. Let's say he doesn't allow a first inning run. That doesn't really pay though, Jim.
Well, it's perfect for you
Why?
because all your
Because I'm
picks for
soft on Underdog.
like $10 bets to win like $20.
All right, but let's say Andrew Abbott allows higher than 1.5 hits in the first inning.
Okay.
And then let's just say, and this ballpark's a joke. That's why these home run totals are a joke. Let's say Ha-Seong Kim homers. Okay.
Ooh, give me a big one. Oh,
$10 pays
yeah.
$290.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking
pays
about,
$290.
John. Big time winner.
$100 pays $2,900.
Okay.
Okay.
How about $1,000?
29 grand. 10 grand pays there. Perfect. We got 300K. We paid for everything.
We paid for my wedding.
Okay. So if you want the free bonus cash, if you want the free special pick, use promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP, and play along with us beginning tomorrow. Padres, Reds. You can play, by the way, Jim, as you know, you can play across all sports, including NBA.
You can do multiple sports at once. You can do NBA action because I think the Celtics tip off tomorrow. I think both series tip off tomorrow, right? Or no, just one series. Sorry, just one series. You can do WNBA action. You can do NHL playoffs. A lot of things you could do here.
Sure. All sports, really.
Yeah. I think they even have mixed martial arts in there. They have golf in there.
Xander Shoffley.
Yeah.
I don't think he's playing tomorrow in anything. I don't think it's like Tuesday events.
There's usually typically not, John.
Did you see any of the video on social of him like
chugging out of the clearance cup? Yeah.
That was great.
That's great. That's awesome.
I need to win a golf major.
You would suck.
I would have lost by 1,000 strokes. Even if I would have panicked.
The only time that I've ever been with you, like golfing, you were like, Jim, help me out. And then you went on YouTube to look up golf tips right before we were golfing.
Oh, that was terrible. I was so bad. I thought it was going to be so much better than that.
You're like, I'm really good. And then as you're looking up golf tips, I'm like, what are you doing?
Dude, I sucked at that.
Dude,
golf is hard, man. Ball doesn't even move.
Golf is very hard. Playing Tory
What's up,
on
Mark?
Thursday. What up, Mark? I know. John always likes to like bet these little wimpy bets, $10 for 20.
Well, Mark, I hit 2 yesterday. Now,
That's
again,
awesome.
my takeaway was like $80.
That's awesome.
But
I may have lost 10 in a row, but my one win was quadruple your 3 wins.
Well, great. Guess who's got $80 in their bank right now? That does, and guess who doesn't? I do. You don't.
Yeah, you're right.
Now, again, would I like to hit on like $400? I haven't done that yet. You've done that a couple times. I think my biggest hit is like 200, 180.
My biggest hit is I think 460. Yeah, it was a big one. It was big time.
Irie Fan Geek, if you want to, okay, here's the thing. Who wants a wrap-up show hat? Click the link in the description down below.
Yes.
Get to the shop.
Yes.
Okay. This brand new wrap-up show cap now available. Click the link in the description down below. We got John and Jim gear. We got wrap-up show gear. Brand new for 2024. So by the way, Jim's last day, now I don't think forever, but last day of the week is tomorrow. John and Jim, 3 to 6. He's then bailing on the wrap-up show the rest of the week. And the radio show.
This is my last wrap-up show. Tomorrow night, I'm driving to Oceanside, and then family gets in town, and I am off the grid until.
No, but here's the funny thing.
Monday.
You're definitely not off the grid. You will be tweeting obsessively.
I know.
You will be texting me stupid things. You'll be telling me make sure to pick up a white button down for my tux. You'll be saying all those things.
Yeah, I know.
In fact, before the wedding, you can't be off the grid because there's so many logistics. Oh, this person said this, and this person said, you got.
What I mean by off the grid is I won't be on John and Jim, and I won't be on the wrap-up show. And I'm sure I'll get to
go over well with Erin that you're playing golf for like 5 straight days, and she's like busily preparing for a wedding.
You make a good point.
Is she cool with it?
Yeah.
I love the idea of a Jim hat.
Jim.
Just Jim. I do like that. Yeah, here you go. Wally pipped, Robert. Might not see Jim ever again on this show.
Yeah, invite McFadden on.
McFadden. That's hilarious.
Invite Ben McFadden.
I could just turn on the phones and have members talk. I like that.
During the wedding. Like, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today in front of all of you beautiful people and the wrap-up show.
Okay, by the way, this didn't happen, San Diego shit. Is anybody else mad we sucked in the second doubleheader like they did not care?
Dude.
Guys, Atlanta is going to win 99 games. That's my threshold. Maybe 96. They're going to win more games than the Padres. They're going to win a lot of games this year. When you don't win, it doesn't mean you don't care. When you get shut out, it doesn't mean you don't care. All the Padres did this weekend was win. So let me get this straight. They cared this morning and then they stopped caring this afternoon. That doesn't make any sense. They face good pitching. Chris Sale has been good basically all year long for Atlanta. It didn't have to do with caring. It had to do with Atlanta caring too.
Yeah, I exactly what you
Look
said.
at this. He's like going through it. I'm not convinced him in yet.
All right, fine.
Okay. So I don't think it had to do with caring personally.
No, come on.
All right. Before we get out of here, and by the way, I'll be back tomorrow night. I'll be here all week. And by all week, I mean until Jim's wedding and Friday and yada, yada, yada. But
probably not Friday night.
No, I'm not going to be doing Friday night because you have rehearsal there.
And like the longest day of your life.
God.
How?
You remember the old days? This was probably before you were even dating Aaron, right?
This was before Aaron, yeah. I like called in one day. I like did a wrap-up show. I went on like a date. Don't tell Aaron. And I like
she can just watch previous episodes if she wanted to.
She doesn't know, so that's fine. I was drunk.
No, wasn't it when like the
when the Warriors won and I was just chugging? Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Everyone wants a wedding wrap-up show.
Dude.
Look at this. Well, first of all, I'm not doing the show. If you don't want the show, then I won't do them.
Yeah, it's plain and simple.
But I'm planning to do shows tomorrow, Wednesday. We'll see about Thursday based on the start time and how they play.
Yeah, because the wrap-up show would be the John and Jim.
Would be the show, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so maybe, I mean, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that'd be fine, yeah.
What are you talking about?
Never mind.
First of all, I don't even want to talk to you right now. Okay, Aura. If you're looking to get healthier, ora.organic or click the link in the description down below. Amazing plant-based products. All of them are nutritional supplements. The probiotic, which I take every day for digestion. They're pre-workout supplements. They're proteins for after workouts. Omega-3 oils. If you're taking a fish oil, man, you should be taking an omega-3 oil from Aura. They have sleep pills, immunity pills, and more. So click that link in the description down below. Great, great company. Will is a huge Padres fan. Their co-founder, lifelong San Diegan, offices in Liberty Station. Everyone wants to get healthier. They have so many great products. They have a free shipping offer going on right now as well. So check them out. Longtime supporters of the channel, over 2 years. Check them out by clicking the link in the description down below.
Yeah, everything you need to live a healthy lifestyle. Aura is the best place to accomplish that. All of their supplements are organic, plant-based. You are looking for it, they have it. www.ora.organic. Pick up some supplements, try it out, and you'll thank us later. Yeah, hit the like button, you lazy bastards.
A couple of things here just in the chat real quick before we go. Where was it? Hold on. Someone said, are you going to have like a tan line on your head?
Oh, no.
From golfing.
I will not have a tan line on my head because I'm getting one of those like spray tans.
Are you doing that with Aaron?
Yeah, we're going to be back-to-back spray tan, and then our back's going to be white, but our front, it's like the Ross episode.
No, you're not.
No, we're not doing that.
I was going to say that is...
I gotta look clean. I gotta look good for the wedding. I can't look like...
I can't wait to see you at this wedding, and you're going to look nothing like you've ever looked before in your life, and I will laugh.
I know. I'm going to look completely different. You're like, who are you?
These are wedding photos for forever, so you should look like yourself, because when you look at them, people are like, wait, what?
I'm going to look like myself, John. I'll just be a little tanner. Remember my
You're
first
going to
tan?
have like pitch black, like you're going to have like black hair. You're going to be like 6'4.5".
Probably.
You'd be like jacked.
Probably. You guys are going to be like, wait, what? He doesn't have a bald spot anymore? What?
Orange Jim.
No.
All righty. All right, join us tomorrow. San Diego Sports 760. We'll get you ready for game one. What time's game one tomorrow against the Reds?
Like 3:05.
Yeah, perfect. No, it's at like 3:40 or 3:45 or something. So join us. We'll get you ready for the series beginning at 3 p.m. And then join us tomorrow night on the wrap-up show. And by us, I mean me on the wrap-up show tomorrow night right here on YouTube. Final time here. Please subscribe. We'd love to get to 6,300 subscribers. We have to get there before Jim's wedding or there will not be a wedding. So we got to get to 6,300 subscribers.
Calling the wedding
rules
off.
are rules. Aaron says it. You don't want to piss Aaron off. Subscribe.
No.
Smash the like button. Follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Thank you for the super thanks if you're here on replay. We do appreciate those. Thank you for the memberships. A ton of them have rolled in the last couple of days. Click that join button down below. We'll see you tomorrow on John and Jim, the final radio show before Jim is a married man. Join us tomorrow at 3, YouTube, free iHeartRadio app, or on San Diego Sports 760. Any final words, Jim? This is your last wrap-up show before you're married. Is there anything you'd like to tell the viewers?
I'll see you on the other side.